that.
You didn't know? The voice guy.
You just trying to make
did all
me
that stuff.
sad?
No, like trying to make you sad. I wouldn't share sadness like that, but no, that guy died.
Well, now I'm sad.
The guy that made everybody's childhood possible and every movie so freaking epic. But yeah, I found out about that because he was paid tons of money to do that voice. It's like the Ready to Rumble guy gets paid like $1 million every time he says Ready to Rumble.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, man. Pretty damn sick indeed. Anyhow, so we have Overgrowth as our first map of this series, and spawning in the top right corner as our red Zerg, we have TCM SoulKey.
TCM SoulKey. And his opponent in the southwest position, the blue Protoss, Team PK. I think that's Team Planet Key Dynamics. He is GunGFuBanDa.
GunGFuBanDa. I think we nailed it.
Yeah. I'm ready, man. I don't know if I told you. It's my plan, man. I get my car in California, just try to get that voice acting career going. It's a dream.
What kind of movies or commercials do you think you'd do?
I mean, it's like potpourri stuff, man.
Potpourri stuff?
I gotta start small before I find an identity, you know?
Oh, by the way, so we do have a drone scout, and he immediately sees, hey, this guy's going Forge. So a pool starts up for SoulKey, so kind of like an interesting set of events here at the start of the game. I would love to hear your voice advertising something like Twilight, the love story.
Really?
Like, yeah, you talking about love between vampires. Or maybe about, like, I don't know. I can't imagine the amount of cool things you could do. Like, there's so many.
I mean, right now it's all impressions, right? I need to be told to create something. That's the real goal, you know?
Oh, by the way, an expansion of the gold for SoulKey. His own gold.
Yeah.
Nexus going up.
Baiting it out. Considering that he opened with a Forge and he is not aware of this yet, like, he's not going to have any opportunity to do anything about it. Not anytime soon, at least.
So that spawning pool is up. GunGFuBanDa does see it. A couple of lings joining the field pretty soon. We'll fend off that drone, and that drone moves back from the natural. Upon seeing this, GunGFuBanDa, yeah, so he goes to check the third to see if there's a base there, and will eventually see the gold base. So, yeah, like kind of like natural reaction here by GunGFuBanDa seeing all that. The Overlord gets to see that the gateway is the gateway follows the Forge. There's a cannon here, so we won't be able to deal any damage early on with lings. So far, a normal standard game.
Yeah, and SoulKey is now going to take his natural.
The natural.
Yeah. Well, you know, in StarCraft, like especially when it comes to commentary, we usually refer to the first base that the guy takes as his natural. You don't call it a second. You don't call it like his second base. It's always the natural, but the gold base is what he's taking as his natural. You know.
Yeah.
But then what do you call the given natural?
I think as StarCraft 2 players and stuff, we have to refer as what is the natural. It's the base that is most natural to you to take. So I think we have to refer to the natural as this.
Yeah. So he takes
the base next to his main.
Yeah. Still, it just feels like weird.
This is just his second base.
Yeah. He's gonna take the gold as his second base.
Right. So the gold second base is functioning now. Queen's on the field. There's no gas being taken as of yet, so he's just going to be pumping out units. What is GunGFuBanDa going to do to challenge this? Because he has to do something. Like his opponent, it does have a gold base. He also has a natural upcoming too. This Overlord kind of scouting around, doesn't see any mischief going on. Like no Stargate as of yet, or any kind of tier 2 tech building from GunGfu. And SoulKey just droning up like a madman.
Yeah, and with that gold base, he's going to have a really, really nice income. I think if we were to pull up the income tab, with the workers being this close, he should have a nice lead. Look at that, yeah, pulling an extra $200 a minute. That's nice.
It's always very pleasant. And one thing I really like about SoulKey's play, about like how he distributes his drones, so all the drones that are made at his gold go to his gold, and all the drones that are made at his main go to his main. So there's no kind of like travel time between the two, because if you just kind of rallied and said, hey, I'm going to have all these hatcheries go to this base or what have you, then you kind of miss a lot of mining time there. So it's just efficient mining by SoulKey. In the meantime, quite a lot of Overlords being made. Very similar harvest account by both of them. And we have a Stargate and 3 gateways on the way in a position that's very tough to scout.
Yeah, he's taking no gases in his natural either. So GunGFuBanDa, what is he doing with this? We're just going to see him crank out a... You're going to go for like a quick Oracle and then try to push with that? I'm not sure.
We do have a pylon on the left side of the map with +1 starting. Did he not? Oh, he just missed that.
Well,
Did I see there was a little red click going there, though. I think this ling. Da, 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 da. That's the ling. That's the ling. But, you know, this pylon is up now.
Yeah,
Warp gate just
finished.
It just finished. So that in that base of GunGFuBanDa, there's going to be warp gates warping right now as we speak. And that ling, following that probe, bam, there we are.
Oh, yeah, they're morphing it now. He can warp in to defend this pylon.
Oh.
Or Zealots.
I mean, it's a bit risky warping in these Zealots. I mean, they are surrounded. But
yeah, with that position, fighting against the Lings is easy peasy.
Yeah, and there's going to be an Oracle joining the fray soon, too. Oh, there he is. And the Spine Crawler is the one in the middle of the mineral line, not the Spore Crawler. A little, you know, curious as to why that choice was made.
The lair is about to finish up, and there are roaches on the production tab, so the Zealots alone will have a bit of difficulty actually making this happen soon.
Stalkers are being warped in now, so a couple of Stalkers, 3 Stalkers to be exact. 6 Zealots, a Mothership Core. Oh, is going for this pylon.
The pylon getting picked off really
That's
sucks.
Nice. That's nice.
Now GunGFuBanDa cannot reinforce his army. Of course, he still has that Mothership Core, so he can always recall out, but you know, don't want to get caught off guard.
That's a lot of lings by SoulKey, and he does see that there are 2 oracles on the field. Given that there's no sentries, he has to realize that hey, both these, they're not hallucinations by any means. So +1 is finishing up. Twilight Council coming in. And one thing that GunGFuBanDa does very well every time, look at his harvester count, Nathanias. It's at 50 right now.
This man's good at building probes. He is significantly ahead in workers.
Significantly ahead in workers. We have the Zerg that's kind of trailing here. And now a third goes down. Like he kind of, he did put on quite a bit of pressure. He didn't overcommit whatsoever, but he put on enough pressure to kind of look like he was all-inning. And SoulKey really, really halted his drone production. And that's a lot of lings that kind of can't get up to anything right now. So, you know, a nice little moral victory by GunGfu. That being said, this is a lot of roaches moving in on his opponent here.
Yeah, getting on top of that third base now, trying to move in. Of course, the big problem with the build that GunGFuBanDa did is
he got smashed!
Didn't have any tech. GG.
Okay.
Well, SoulKey's just like, I'm going to use that gold-based money, even though, yeah, he didn't have as many workers. He was just building up for that massive push level roaches he had.
Where did those roaches come from? They just kind of marched across the map. There's no force fields coming down. It was just like,
yeah,
I'm on top of you. GG.
Well met.
What's that from?
I don't know why you would ask that question, Benjamin Baker.
Keep saying it, Nathanias.
Keep saying it. This is the first time I've said it today.
Really? Are you sure?
On air.
Are you sure? Oh, yeah, on air. Do you often, you know, like when you GG, you could also just say WM for like well met. That could be your thing. You know, like Hastafana used to say grats.
Sometimes I say well met at the start of a game.
Really? You're that guy? Do you get cheesed a lot? I'd cheese you if you said that to me.
Really?
Yeah, that puts me off.
No, I don't get cheesed that much. Actually, I will say this.
I cheese you quite a bit.
On the Korean server, when I play Korean server, I get proxied a lot. When I play, and actually NA was pretty good lately, but I don't play too much there. On Europe, no one's proxied me. I haven't been proxy-gated or proxy racks by anybody.
Most legit server of all 3?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Wait, are you masters yet on Europe? Are you masters on Korea?
I don't know.
Really? On Korea?
On Europe server, I am the number 5 highest point diamond player in the world.
Wow. In Europe or in the world?
In the world.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And I beat a European top 150 grandmaster on ladder and still could not get promoted. So I don't know.
Oh, damn.
The ladder, man.
Have you beat any Korean GMs yet? Or played against any?
Yeah, I played quite a few Korean GMs on Korean ladder, but I also can't get promoted there, even though I was rank 1 master when I was playing every day.
Did you beat any of them?
I think just one. One Zerg.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
With latency combined and stuff, too.
Yeah. I like TVZ a lot, man.
TVZ is fun.
TVZ is very fun matchup. Now we're on Expedition Lost.
I hope, like, given that we just saw SoulKey expand to the gold and stuff on Overgrowth, I'd love to see him do it on this map too.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
But that being said, if SoulKey was watching the stream, which, you know, when you're in a tournament, you have to wait for matches. I like watching the games.
I mean, I don't see any reason why not to. You get a better feel for your opponents, especially their state of mind. Like,
well, he got to see him against Hyun. If
yeah,
he did
I just
do that.
imagine that if you were watching that, then you just kind of know that GunGFuBanDa is already tilted, right? So
yeah, exactly.
After something like that, you'd have to imagine that he's quite susceptible to being rustled, to say the least.
Okay, so with that being said, GunGFuBanDa did proxy 2-gate on this map. Ooh, is he going to take the gold? Is he just going to
gold base hype? Oh, he's just going to do that thing where he takes the third base.
I mean, his opponent did proxy at the third here. Last time. Oh, look, he's checking where that proxy location was of his opponent and checking behind the bushes too. SoulKey, more like safe key.
Ha.
Ha, 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 ha. You know, it's kind of like a lame joke that Bruce Wayne would make. Just saying.
What?
Just saying.
In the Comhem commercial, if those two old lady hobbits are the other one, Lord of the Rings hobbits, which hobbit is the one that's brave enough to reach up and grab the cable box?
Which one's brave enough?
Yeah, I think Samwise is the one that's brave enough to reach up and grab it. And all Frodo has to do is just plug it in.
I think it would be Pippin, actually, just because he's stupid.
What?
Well, he's the one that touches things, man. Like, he's the one that touched that orb, you know?
Yeah, but
and then he looked at Sauron's plans.
Yeah, but that totally didn't help him.
But luckily, he has two... Yeah, it did. It helped the allies. They saw their next plan.
Oh, maybe I remembered it wrong.
That they were going for Minas Tirith.
Look, my point is I'm just looking for more reasons to bash on Frodo. As long as the commercial is Lord of the Rings related, I'm not going to be able to forget about this. Sorry, mate.
It's okay, man. I really liked the tweet where it was like, "What's the hate on Frodo, Nathan? Is it because he's like?" And then he talked about.
Oh, someone's like, "Frodo's like taller than me." I'm like, okay, so that's really funny. I laughed. I chuckled to myself. I've never been called short before, you know.
Really?
No, never. So Frodo sees the third base.
Okay, so yeah.
The Zealot's about to finish in the Cybernetics core. GunGFuBanDa really does seem tilted, though. He's doing some really aggressive stuff in pretty much every game since, actually every game. This is kind of what we expected, but it seems like he's turned it up a notch.
Aggressive slash, like, he did some aggressive stuff last game, but pro'd up like a madman, then tried to take his third, and just didn't react to the roaches on top of his army. So, I mean, he could still be struggling with lag issues, but he also could just be mentally owned, you know?
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think he played poorly by any means. I think he played pretty well, actually. His strategy was there, just a little bit of misexecution, maybe, and whether that's a mental battle or just wasn't looking at the time or what, we don't know. But let's just hope that, you know, a clean slate. It's a new game. Nothing to hold him back in here. Getting some micro going. Trying to get to Link. So, you know, it's still in him. He can still micro. He's still going for it. And when you're confident enough to pull off moves like this, where you're just kind of marching ahead with a Zealot and a Stalker, and a Mothership Cord is going to join two on the right side, it shows confidence in your play. And here, what do we have being added on by GunGfu? A couple of gateways thus far.
Yeah, getting ready to potentially turn the heat up.
Is that, okay, at the gold base of SoulKey, is that a probe waiting there? That is the pylon spot I talked about a while ago with you, Nathan. That is the pylon spot. Like, how do you go about killing it? Yeah. It's a lovely position, and 4 gateways on the way now. So we're going up to 4 gates.
Here we go.
Now, what has SoulKey actually scouted in the main base by the... Oh, this Mothership Core. 2 kills.
Rack 'em up, rack 'em up, rack 'em up, Demuslim.
And we look at the harvester count again, Nathanius. Look at this. Look what GunGFuBanDa has managed to achieve. 37 harvesters against 28. I don't know how he's doing this.
He just doesn't stop building probes.
No, I don't know how he does this. Like, or I do. He just doesn't mess up. So really good probe production. Putting up a forge now. So he's got a lot of gas to use. He does have a pylon, I believe, at that gold base now. His 4 gateways are done. Like, what's he hoping for here? So Sentry Morph at home. A couple of Lings do die at the front end, warping in units aggressively. Roach Warren on the way for SoulKey. And we have GunGFuBanDa marching across the map with the few forces that he does have.
Yeah. Forge finishing up behind this, so potentially following this up with some sort of upgrade-related play. He's like that +2 blink in most of the games he played today that went long, and the Link's trying to catch the Stalkers. That should be able to escape.
Yeah, no speed yet, by the way, for
But a lot more Zerglings in production, and speed is very close to completing, so GunGFuBanDa is going to want to make his move now.
Decent creep spread on the left side of this base, and that looks to be GunGFuBanDa's choice of attack here. Overlord in a pretty dicey position there, and if this Overlord dies, he's going to be supply blocked pretty hardcore.
A nice supply block to be able to get. He does kill the Overlord. A couple of the Zealots that were sent to reinforce get caught. 3 drones down now. Robo Facility starting with the Twilight Council. Moving behind the mineral lining. And recalls.
Wow, I'm a little surprised that he recalled, but I guess just as soon as 1 unit dies from Protoss, it pretty much means all the shields from all of your other units are dying too. But with this, 49 Harvesters to the 36. I'm a little sad that it's both the Twilight Council and the Robo in construction here. Like, I feel that a much smoother transition would have had either at least one of those structures done. But, you know, third base on the way. Did force out a lot of offensive units from SoulKey as well. Oh, nice. Kills these rocks. So there isn't going to be an attack through here anytime soon.
He just cuts it off. Of course, this does mean he needs to keep his eyes open for those back rocks and immediately starts a pylon there. So he's thinking the same thing.
You can see, like, the way that he's thinking here, which is a nice way of thinking. 17 drones on the way. So SoulKey realizes, hey, can I really deal damage here? Probably not. Oh, is my opponent's building a third? Like, SoulKey droned up like a madman. And what do we have? We have Immortals in production, Tier 2 upgrades for GunGfu. GunGFu's got himself into a much better situation this game. And remember, he's had a healthy economy for quite some time. He didn't do a crazy all-in. He doesn't have to worry about these back rocks, though. Because before you know it, if you've got roaches busting in, oh, just warp in some sentries just in time for those rocks dying.
Yeah, Zergling's trying to tap that third, but it is locked down way too well. And there's the force field. He's just going to try to work in some cannons to stop him from ever getting through this.
This is, by the way, look at this production tab. So we have SoulKey that has no intention of making any aggressive units right now or an all-in. But look how he's playing this. He's forced his opponent to make several sentries at the top of that ramp and lots of cannons here. And in the meantime, what's he been doing? Just been droning up. And that Harvester lead that GunGFuBanDa once had, no longer a lead in that regard.
Nothing but a bit of memory.
I always like how Protossers make their bases, by the way, with the 2 pylons, the cannon, and the 2 gateways blocking.
It looks pretty.
It's pretty and it's super efficient. I mean, Lings can't do anything. Can't do anything against that.
It's tucked in quite nicely. Hydralisks are on the way now for SoulKey, as he does have a few Lings pocketed in the northwest corner of the map. A +2 and Blanker about to complete for GunGFuBanDa. And he does have a quite sizable, quite capable gateway army. Oh boy.
And during Locust, I'm actually kind of scared for SoulKey. And yeah, he's trying to buy himself time here by killing these rocks, which time will be granted. But what is it? I mean, he's got Warp Prism with him.
What if he just Warp Prismed into the main, force field off the ramp, broke down the rocks, and killed everything?
You know, you kind of say that in a jokey manner, but what if he did just fly some sentries into the main base? I mean, it's very exposed. Okay, he's going for some Zealots into the main base. 6 Stalks at a time. Looks like SoulKey is prepped for this.
Yep, he's got 7 Overlords ready, so he's going to open up the rest of his supply. Won't have to worry about building Overlords for the rest of this game. As Zergling actually just slips by into the natural. We'll start poking some probes.
That's a little annoying. And, oh, probes win.
I'd hope so. That many of them.
Yeah, that's quite a few. Swarm hosts on the way with a hive. I feel that if GunGFuBanDa was to get anything done, now would be his
he's
time.
running out of time to do anything.
Right, and I mean, this army isn't that strong, though. Like, where's the rest of his army? Is this it? This doesn't look like 134 supply to me.
No.
Clearing up the creep, though. It's a smart move. Going for this fourth base.
I think this fourth is a very, very important pick-off. Oh, look at that. I mean, that choke point is so tight on this map. It's an easy mop-up.
Yeah, some clean force fields there, too. Like, very efficient.
And he's going to want to recall before he gets caught on both sides.
Bam. Recall saves every unit. Hasn't seen that his opponent's getting Swarm Hosts yet, though. So he could still be just assuming, like, like Roach Hydra, I think my opponent's going for Viper.
I don't know if it matters, because he's going into Colossi anyway to deal with the Hydralisks, which will also really help him against the...
I mean, this is this compared to Hyun's... In fact, so to a Hyun, he just kind of went for High Templar and avoided the Colossi altogether. But the Colossi here, they're obviously going to come in very handy. As this army, without the Locust, it isn't one that you can engage, but with the Locust, The fact that SoulKey's getting so aggressive on the map, I'm liking this, but his creep spread, GunGFuBanDa did such a good job of denying that. He really did, because these, and Locust without creep, they're far more useless.
Yeah, I agree. There's not really a whole lot that SoulKey can do out on the map with these forces, but as the Vipers come in, that's what's going to open up the door for him to get some of those abducts, and once you pick off or if you pick off those Colossi, that's when the Swarm hosts are pretty much unstoppable. You're not going to try to blink on top of them unless you're, well, crazy. Oh, or they're unburrowed.
Or unburrowed, Nathanius, and yeah, what a nice little pick off there. Just a couple of Swarm hosts. And these are really, really clean force fields. He's not panicking about them, he's just laying them down. Thermal Lance is not yet done, but a second Colossi joining the fray here. And this army, it packs a punch. That's +3 Stalker Colossi here.
Oh, SoulKey needs to be really careful with where he's moving this army. If he gets force fielded up this ramp, I feel like there's enough energy to do so. Force fields him away instead, but I feel like you kind of want to fight this army if there's no Locust nearby. Like, the Colossi should wreck most of it.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, like, the one argument against that is, if we look at the supply, GunGFuBanDa's the one that can still improve his army at this point in time, whereas SoulKey's approaching max.
He's getting Storm as well for those Templar. And the Templar will also offer a counter to the Vipers.
It looks like GunGFu is going for that kind of really strong meaty army where he can just kind of fight through a good few waves and take out a base in the mix, and also maybe the army. Because, I mean, a lot of supply is still in these Roach Hydra, which... Ooh, nice Blinding Cloud.
Yeah, forcing these Stalkers actually run forward into the Hydra fire.
So much damage being done with these Blinding Clouds. And look, he's doing it again. He's just chasing him down with Blinding Clouds. And what a good reaction.
Definitely a better place to retreat from. But without the Locusts here, the Colossi are actually wrecking these Hydralisks, and quite a bit of supply bled out here by SoulKey.
I feel like that really took GunGFuBanDa by surprise. Really nice counterattack by GunGFu. I think he's actually ahead in this game, considerably actually, with this counterattack.
Yeah, he's making it happen to a good extent, of course. The Swarm hosts are going to allow SoulKey, even with a bit of economic disadvantage, get something done, but not enough. GG. GunGFuBanDa's counterattack with the Zealots set himself up for that, and I think SoulKey's just like, yeah, pushed a little too far forward. Like, when he even fought GunGFuBanDa on his natural ramp, like, oh, without the wave of Locust, he just got wrecked. Like, the Blinding Clouds were cool, but then the Vipers had no energy because he didn't want to get enough. Because if he's at full energy, then a feedback will kill the Vipers. But I still think having all the energy would have been more useful.
That looked like a bit of a clash, too. Like, just to talk about European Zergs, when they go Roach Hydra Viper, they almost always prioritize Abduct on the Colossi.
Yeah.
So you saw GunGFu kind of moving back with his Colossi there, but I think he was really expecting his opponent to go for that, but then the Blinding Clouds and his army just kept moving forward, and his Colossi were at back, kind of like dancing. Like, that was a really nice choice of spell, and I'm interested to see if Koreans do prefer to prioritize Blinding Cloud over Abduct, but yeah. It was nice play by GunGFu overall, though.
I mean, if you get, like, the Abducts, like, Blinding Cloud is cool to kill a couple Stalkers, but the Colossi, that's all that
they are the damage.
When you really look at it, when it comes down to brass tacks, the Colossi is the only unit in that army that matters, because nothing else is going to work against concerted waves of Locusts. Like,
no, I not like. Obviously, I don't agree with SoulKey's choice of units, as SoulKey did lose that game. But going for a Swarm Host when you're your creep spread's so bad.
Yeah, you're not going to have a lot
of
pushing
like that
power.
Too. It's kind of like, I'm kind of wondering about his unit choice. But that being said, like, the early aggression, he was like 30-odd drones against like the 50 probes of GunGFu. So, and then GunGFu started getting up his third very quickly. There were a lot of moves to force units out of GunGFu while he was droning up like a madman, such as killing the rocks with like only revealing 7 roaches. Yeah. But ultimately, it was nicely played by GunGFu, and upon winning a map against SoulKey, he's in a 1-1 series here. And the winner does stay in Fragbite Masters. They'll finish at least 3rd in the group.
That's right. The loser will be eliminated from the tournament completely as we move on to map number 3 here in the lower bracket match, Vani Research Station.
Now, I like this map.
For PvZ?
It's my favorite of all the new maps that they added.
Yeah, I'll agree with that one. You mean you don't like getting proxy gated and proxy barracks every single time that you queue up on Secret Springs?
Yeah.
Do you even have Secret Springs on Veto, Demuslim?
The only map that I veto is Inferno Pools, actually.
What? That's weird.
Do you veto Secret Spring?
No. No, I veto the maps that that we've had in the pool the longest because I like to play on the newer ones more.
Really?
I vetoed Deadwing, Overgrowth, and Expedition Lost.
Oh, but you don't like Expedition Lost?
I hate that map. Well, that map is just... That map is actually just trash for Terran, period. Like, if any Terran that doesn't veto that against a Zerg especially is just asking for it. Or they have some dank build saved up.
I may have recently vetoed that map, actually.
That's what I thought.
Though, against Protoss, what do you realistically...
Well, Protoss, I mean, I don't like TVP on it either, but TVZ is the reason why, you know, I cry at night.
Yeah, TVZ on that map's terrible. So SoulKey's going out for this early drone scout again, by the way.
Yeah.
And looks like GunGFu will be going Nexus first.
He's not going to do anything crazy with this drone, you don't think? No? No.
If he goes for a block, though...
What if he just builds a hatchery next to the Nexus?
So he sees this pylon.
Well, he actually...
He's going for it.
He's not going to get there in time.
No, he's not going to get there
wrecked.
in time.
Seats taken.
What do you think he's going to do now? Is it... Do you think he'd get away with building a hatch?
Oh, he just took a hatchery in his own base. He's
a hatchery in his own base.
It's one of those weird times where actually going Nexus first is better defensively because he had blocked the spot. If he opened with a gateway, then I think it's actually so much worse because he has to deal with that hatchery being built there.
I'm always interested in Zerg builds involving like hatcheries in your opponent's bases and such. Like, if he was to build a hatchery in his opponent's base now, like next to this pylon, blocking everything where that pylon can build, and you know, do you pull off probes to kill that, or do you let it go up? Like, the amount of like, is this worth it kind of thing for the... Oh, wow, 3 hatch before pool. I like this reaction by SoulKey. So he kind of stuck around for long enough to see what was going on by his opponent with the drone. And GunGFuBanDa gets a scout off too, to see that pool is extremely late. And with that, yeah, he's got his probe lined up to kind of scout all the bases of SoulKey. So they both know exactly what they're in for here.
Yeah.
True macro game, Nathanius.
That's something that I am glad to see. A lot of aggressive play today out of, I guess, GunGFuBanDa. That's kind of his thing, though, isn't it, really? Like, that's what he's had the most success with, especially competing here in the Fragbite Masters.
Macro? GunGFuBanDa?
No. The aggressive play.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was about to go like, Nathan,
I was saying
with me?
That's why the macro play is cool to see.
It's okay, Nathan. We're all...
Although I will say this, I mean, what is GunGFuBanDa's macro play really, though? He never gets any tech. He just goes up to +2 blink and then tries to punch it in with gateway units. The sole exception being that last game where he benefited greatly from it.
I'm not going to argue with you too much.
I mean, do you disagree? I mean, like, what did he... Like, he's gone +2 blink almost every game. Like, we kind of just saw the Colossi. Yeah, but he doesn't set himself up for the late game. Is my point?
No. He's definitely comfortable with like a mid-game scenario for sure. And I mean, when you are against the greats such as like Hyun and SoulKey, you have to work with what you're good at. You know.
Yeah.
Like, why start doing something that you're a little bit less sure of? And so far, GunGFu's done pretty well. I mean, he lost 1-2 to Hyun. He did a proxy gate in one game and just died, but. Ultimately, he's actually been playing very well, I think.
Yeah, I can't blame him. He's going right up to a third base at 6 minutes.
Very early.
Greedy boy hype.
Considering how fast his opponent took 3 bases, though, little leapfrog moves like this, definitely worthwhile. So a Forge pretty early on. Looks like he will be doing the strategy that we've seen him do quite a few times against SoulKey, where he gets the +1. Upon reaching +1, while at council.
Straight up to +2 blink.
And
late tech.
Yeah.
Or maybe we get him... I don't mind his Warp Prism play while he gets the Dark Shrine either, like he did versus Hyun.
One thing that's worked out very well for GunGFuBanDa is just those Zealot attacks.
Yeah, the counterattack won him the last game.
So 3 more gates on the way, +1. The 3rd and 4th gas have not been taken yet by GunGFu, but you see he does have enough gas to work with right now. And he's just been focusing on getting his infrastructure up, so he needs all those minerals he can. Whoa.
SoulKey's going for the gold base as his 4th at 7 minutes.
I feel they're both like, okay, you're going to play greedy? I'm going to play greedy. You're going to play that greedy? I'm going to play even greedier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of funny to see this. Like, you get they're playing chicken here, except...
Yeah.
with how far they can be away from each other.
It is literally a game of leapfrog here, but instead of leaping over each other literally, they're leaping over each other with expansions. Because 4 bases at like the 8-minute mark for a Zerg, 6-minute 3 base for a Protoss, like it's amazing to see. So now his Twilight Council finishes up. Very well timed. So it gets Blink early. It's not as if his Twilight Council's too late for that +1 to be finishing. I like this from GunGfu, and look at that drone count and harvest count. It's still very, very healthy for both these players.
Yeah, GunGFuBanDa, gotta give him credit for his ability to produce probes consistently. Like he never stops building them, and because of that, he's always been very, very close in workers to SoulKey throughout the entire series.
Certainly.
Even Hyun. That's one of the things I feel like is overlooked a lot. You know, when you watch professional StarCraft games, is worker production. Some guys are actually quite bad at keeping a consistent production going.
Yeah, it's one of the things that goes overlooked, actually. Like, you look at a lot of players' crisis management, and they'll do everything they can to stop this push that's happening at them, but the real greats will still be producing harvests that whole time. And, you know, like the length of a push, let's say this push happens for a good 40 to 50 seconds, that's missing 3 cycles of workers, which can be like 6 workers for a Terran player, can be like 10, 12 for a Zerg. It's very, very important in here. GunGFuBanDa moving in slowly with this little sentry squad of his. This is just kind of forcing SoulKey to make units that he doesn't really want to make, but unfortunately for GunGFuBanDa, I believe SoulKey's already hit a number of workers that he's very, very content with.
Yeah, 76 is totally fine, especially when you consider that he doesn't need to fully saturate or at least put as many drones on the gold base as he does his other ones, since there's less mineral patches there. But at the same time, gets more money per drone, so income looking great for SoulKey, and I'd say at the same time GunGFuBanDa can't be upset. But he's set up once again with the Immortals coming out, +2, Blink, no Robo Bay, no Stargate, nothing. He's going to add a Stargate now, but it'll take a little bit of time before he's situated with this to a point where it can actually work against, you know, a more late game layer tech army.
Yeah, Spire on the way. Wouldn't be surprised if we see SoulKey take a pretty quick 5th with this. It's when you do go for like a very kind of heavy investment in Roach Ling, trying to get that switch to Spire. The pressure is always on your opponent, so it leaves your economy to run wild, unless they're doing some Warp Prism harass and such, you know. But which, by the looks of it, does look like GunGFuBanDa will be heading toward. So +3 very early on the way for GunGfu. Pretty decent upgrades to SoulKey. He's at 1-1 so far, getting +2.
Yeah, SoulKey's maxed out right now as well, so GunGFuBanDa needs to be very careful with how far he's willing to move forward on the map, because he could get counterattacked, and we could see kind of similar to what Hyun actually did versus GunGFuBanDa on Overgrowth, just, you know, cannonballing his way through into the bases when GunGFuBanDa is out of the map.
This is quite a healthy army against Roaches, though, and we'll see. This is a tough fight for GunGfu to take, because he's going to have to do force fields from every angle.
He's using up all of his Sentry energy in order to make this defense happen.
Is his Mothership Core flying over? Because I think if he doesn't hold this off well, he's going to have to recall out. But so far, an amazing fight by GunGfu. But now his squishy units are getting focused, and a recall. Oh, man. Like, I mean, it was quite a nasty position to get caught in, because
he got out. There's that Warp Prism coming into play once again that we've seen time and time again. Actually, just Zergling defense isn't going to cut it against these +2 Zealots. They're wrecking these Zerglings left and right, especially with the position that they're able to fight in by these buildings, keeping not full surface area available.
Luckily for SoulKey, though, and unfortunately for GunGfu, ooh, Dark Shrine, there are mutas on the field, so that will shut down that Warp Prism play that's been a thorn in SoulKey's side the whole series. If he can find that Warp Prism, that is. Which, heading straight for it. Goodbye. Yeah. And that's really good for SoulKey.
Yeah, he wasn't going to be able to hide that there against the Mutalisks, but if he had been, that, well, I got to credit that more to SoulKey messing up, but you're right, that's a great position to be in, because that's really the strongest point of GunGFuBanDa's gameplay has been his counterattacks and harass, which, yeah, I can't fault him for any of that. It's actually very, very sharp.
Okay, so upon making roughly 4 mutas, we see that he's kind of making Roaches, he's getting ready for Swarm Host too, and a second Stargate joins the field. So even though there's big fights happening here, wow, that's a lot of Zerg. And the force fields are all gone now. I feel that he can just get on top of him, and recall is done.
He recalls back to this Nexus as some Roaches and Lings bust open,
Ooh,
or at least
that was
try to
clutch.
bust open the entrance to the main base. At the same time, Zealots actually canceled the 5th base of SoulKey and are making their way over to his 3rd.
Wow, these Zealots, they are going ham, but they don't have charge, so hunting down armies quickly and drones quickly is going to be tough. These mutas even coming into fruition here at the natural
Just
base.
enough Phoenix to defend against that defensive Dark Templar Warp to deal with the roaches, so he can now bring the rest of his stalkers over to slice and dice this army.
Oh, and the 3rd's still under attack for GunGFuBanDa. Oh, does clean that up. 20 probes did fall, did deny the 5th. I feel that GunGFuBanDa didn't really want to reveal DTs there, but it was like one of his only options. Look at the mineral count for SoulKey, by the way. This is what happens when you have a gold base and an economy that's gone relatively unhindered.
Yep, every moment that he gets gas, he can immediately spend it on units with that mineral bank. He can retake all those hatcheries. I mean, might as well just throw it on hatcheries all over. +1 air attack even. GunGFuBanDa was really ready to commit to a full air switch in order to handle the Mutalisks, which we know now aren't really going to be coming.
Certainly was, and GunGFuBanDa, he's moved out to halfway across the map. I'm not sure if he has enough energy for a recall here, Nathanius, and yeah, he started marching back.
That's quite unfortunate, as the Stalkers are going to blink to run home. These guys trying to pick up a sentry or two. That robo facility quite vulnerable as well, and I'm surprised. Like, he could have, I think he could have been able to grab the Nexus, but he wants to get a little more trading out of the roaches.
He's actually fighting GunGFu's army with half his roaches here. Now he's focusing the natural for the 3rd, and will he be able to get it in time? It looks like he will.
Them defensive DT warp-ins coming in, but that hatchery, excuse me, the Nexus still died. The roaches still trying to break their way into the main, but they haven't gotten in.
Oh, okay. So he does manage to fend him off, but he lost his 3rd. And even though that was a lot of roaches that died, roaches are one of the most cost-efficient units in the game. Supply inefficient, sure, but cost-efficient.
Now, for how cheap they are, they pack a wall up.
Yeah, and like clearing them up, it's going to take longer and longer to do because GunGFuBanDa's army is just not getting stronger. GunGFu trying to make work with these Phoenix. And every time he picks off all the Overseers, it means that his DTs can reign supreme. That being said, this army of roaches marching across the map now, it's not going to be easy to deal with for GunGFu. And he's trying to get an army of Stalkers and Mortals. The force fields do well against roaches too, obviously, but it's going to be very hard to hold off this onslaught of roaches here.
Yeah, even with force fields, it's going to be quite tricky to make happen. They're the first ones to get thrown down and parse these roaches apart, and he'll kill this first wave for close to free. But the next wave is going to be a bit trickier.
These Phoenix, they are really a nuisance here. I mean, Kel can start picking off all these Overseers.
Yeah, he managed to get SoulKey to actually build the Hydralisk and start up his hive. Because if he kills it, once the Overseers are dead, he can just warp in DTs. And it's, you know, no matter how much supply lead you have, if 6 Dark Templar are able to freely attack your Roach Ball, they are going to annihilate it.
I think there was damage being done in SoulKey's 3rd again by GunGFu. So, you know, he's been a constant little nuisance and keeps pulling SoulKey back on his side of the map. But with these Hydras, and they're going to be well-upgraded Hydras too. I mean, we've got a 2-2 Zerg army against a 3-0 Protoss, and how does that really work out? Well, I gotta say, I like the well-roundedness of the Zerg army.
Yeah, it's quite strong.
Creep. Just chasing them down.
Hydralisk range isn't done yet, so these Hydras may not all be able to fire. And this actually gives GunGFu a reasonable opportunity, since most of the Hydras aren't here, that he can pop Guardian Shield, force field the Hydralisks back away from the army, and just have an opportunity to micro versus the Roaches. But unfortunately for him, there's just a ton more on the map for SoulKey, and GunGFuBanDa is
not a good time to be lagging out, I'm afraid.
No. Guess he wasn't kidding about that internet problem earlier, huh?
Fighting
Not
it.
good.
Fighting it.
Not a good place to be. It sounds like he's still counting down, so gonna be a bit awkward. Hopefully he's not I don't know, like not disconnected for a while.
That would suck.
That would suck.
Because I do think SoulKey is ahead this game. And did you see the production tab, by the way? Like,
he had a lot.
He had like, he just went bloom, Hydras, then it was Lings. Like, he was really going for it.
Yeah.
And with the flood of Lings that comes afterwards, I mean, he's got a really good like Stalker and Mortal Squad. I saw an Archon in them too, but if you kind of like remax on everything you lose with Lings against that army, I feel there's no real chance for GunGFu. That being said, It was a nice fight that GunGFu did take, and currently his army does deal a lot of damage to Roach Hydra.
Yeah, it's going to be really tricky to see how he handles this, especially since he may have to resume into this fight, or I'd imagine maybe right before. I'm not even sure anymore. Because it sounds like he's still timed out. So
we can hear that. Do you think that's a sentry shot?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, because the sound keeps playing when the game pauses. So yeah, GunGFuBanDa disconnected. So I think we're gonna have to rehost if he's online.
Unfortunate. The tempo was so fast. It was actually a good game too between these two. So
that game was really heating up right there. That was a potentially game-deciding fight that he dropped her.
I think it was the game-deciding fight, and it's not clear-cut either.
No,
not at all.
Not at all.
Just re-established his third.
Yeah, he's rebuilding that third nexus. He had just gotten some zealots into that third base of SoulKey, and the zealot harass, man, from GunGFuBanDa is so good. But we'll have to see, I guess. As soon as we hear from our admin if GunGFuBanDa is even online, we'll know how long it should take in order to get this set up.
We're reloading the replay.
All right.
So, guys, stay tuned. We will be back very shortly with the game.
Yeah. Yeah, not a bad time to hit us up if you guys have been enjoying today's games or the group stage in general of Fragbite Masters. Tweet at us at FragbiteM or hit us up on Facebook.com/Fragbite Masters.
I love the fact that we can hear all the production laughing in our ears.
Oh my God. It's like the most.
I really like his face in it too.
Yeah, that picture.
It's like looking at you.
That picture, man.
But yeah,
I've got nothing.
I mean, like, you can also tweet at me and give me some nice messages about like why I was not in Blizzard poll for streamer of 2014.
Yeah, you could go vote for me
or vote for Nathan,
streamer of 2014. If I win, I promise to continue to do what I do, I guess, which is stream and whatnot. I don't know.
I streamed every 2014, I'm pretty sure. Like, there was, the poll or the Team Liquid articles where it's like, oh, yeah, top streamers of 2014. I think I was, like, 5th on it in terms of, like, viewer numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
But, not on Blizzard's poll. Not this year, not last year.
I don't think I was on it last year.
I'm never on it, man. They were like most educational stream. And I remember I used to do quite a lot. Like, I think I teach people pretty well. Like, do this build, do that build.
Yeah. Check this out, guys. I just beat this guy with 2 racks. Let's look at the replay and watch him die.
I mean, if there's a stream that, like, how many streams? I think my stream ran pretty frequently of, like, top-level European ladder to be educational, but I wasn't in any of them, man. I don't know why Blizzard hate me so much.
No comment. I don't know, man.
Hashtag
blamed a Muslim. Hashtag saved a Muslim now.
Hashtag saved a Muslim, man. Grinds my gears, Nathaniel.
No, I'm okay with you not being on that poll because you'd steal all the Terran votes away from me. Now I just have to compete with Avalon.
Yeah, guys, we're on our poll of the year. We'll have Nathaniel, Savilo. What other Terrans are there? The Muslim? No. Screw that guy. It's like...
They knew that you would just campaign for me, so it's all good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder who they have deciding it. Maybe there's somebody that I've wronged, Somebody that I wronged really badly.
Someone that you've 2 racks before in your illustrious career.
I mean, nobody at Blizzard would be in my MMR. Let's be real.
Maybe it's comments like that
Plus, they're not playing. They're playing Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm anyway. Or just adding rocks to maps.
I think the rocks got a lot better in the last couple.
Oh, you mean on like Secret
seasons.
Spring or Expedition Lost, the 2 maps that you love so much? Yeah, man, really good.
Well, they're more interesting. The impact that they have is significantly greater, whether or not they matter. It's not like hey, let's put rocks on the 3rd base. Okay, they're a little more creative with them now.
Yeah, you're right. But that's the map creators. That's not Blizzard.
Yeah, some of the maps made by Blizzard. No, I can't imagine any sadistic man would it by himself take it upon himself to make Secret Springs. I think that was a Blizzard map.
I don't know, man. Like I mean, even if I talk badly about maps or like Blizzard's decisions, do I talk as badly as a Velo about the game? I don't think so. And he's in the frickin' poll. And all he does is whine about how bad mech is and does it all the time. And how imbalanced Protoss are, how much this guy map hacks. Like if Blizzard were to say, if Blizzard were to say, hey guys, let's watch 2 streams of Elos, and you'll get a good idea of like the people in our community and like, you know, the game itself, and let's watch the Muslim stream. And it's like, you know, I don't understand Blizzard's reasoning, but you know, I can rant all day about this, but it's not as if I have like tough. It's not as if I have on my stream either like donations to live, for my alcohol, for all that crap too, you know?
I understand, Ben. So it looks like it's going to take a little time to get this lobby back together so that we can get back into this game. We're going to go to a short commercial break, guys. When we come back, we will resume since it seems that it's taken a little longer than we expected. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. You're watching the Fragment Master StarCraft 2 tournament powered by Calm.
Sån där god onionsås får man tänka på när The Big Apple och strosar runt där och bacon. Vid Frihetsgudinnan brukar fast klart att jag har aldrig varit i New York, men nu kan jag i alla fall äta New York Supreme och Company och drömma mig bort lite grann, så välkommen in och gör det du med. Ät och dröm lite.
Welcome back to the Fragment Master StarCraft 2 tournament powered by Calm and McDonald's. We are just about ready to start the game back up, it seems.
Yes, so if you guys have just tuned in, we are resuming a game that GunGFuBanDa just disconnected in mid-fight. Yep. Whether we're resuming 5 seconds before the fight or during the fight, We shall see. Whereas in the know as you are.
Could be pretty crazy. The players are confirming that they're ready to go.
I hear beeps.
The chat. It's like, go, 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 go.
Starting. Units dying immediately.
Well, this is kind of where we started off, and the Hydralisks, as we said, were force fielded away from the fight, but there's an insane amount of units on the map for SoulKey, so GunGFuBanDa's army not really able to hold this off. All the Immortals picked off, and he's just retreating now.
And soon we'll see a flood of red marching across the map as this is not 180 supply by SoulKey, but what he has in production. And here we see it. You see all that red kind of ticking, like little ants moving across the map here. So GunGFuBanDa, while he might be able to hold off this amount of Roach Hydra with what he has, oh wow, an aggressive blink as well. The follow-up is what he really has to worry about here.
Yeah, the next wave of Roach Hydra should be enough for SoulKey to just punch it in. GunGFuBanDa, you know, he did the best with all the harass that we've lauded him for in the Fragmite Masters today, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to get anything more done today. And losing this map will drop him out of the tournament. Can he hold on, blinking for his life? But with this many Hydras and so much more pouring down the map, I'm not feeling it.
He's backed off into a corner here. SoulKey has a better concave, and while GunGFuBanDa's doing everything he can, warping in units left and right, the supply tells the tale of this game. And look, so many more Hydras join the fray.
Yeah.
GG, Gratz is called. GunGFuBanDa.